Hi, it's Monday, February 26th, and here is a different kind of edition of the Zogby Report, real and unscripted. Jeremy is on deadline with a client report, and so your co-host is now the host, so I get to say whatever I want to say, and that's what I'm going to do. Obviously the 2024 campaign, a number of things to say and a number of questions to raise. Let's start, of course, with South Carolina. Sure, Donald Trump won convincingly by 20 points, right? 60 to 40. Arguably, 40% is kind of the cusp of, acceptability for Nikki Haley, except when the other guys got 60. So her path to the nomination is nil. She has enough money, as we all know, to continue into, possibly even through Super Tuesday. But the real question here is where is she going to go? She's got to wait for Donald Trump to implode and is trying to make that case that he will implode. However, the party is the Donald Trump party. He owns the MAGA movement. Half of the voters in South Carolina, almost half, were considering themselves to be part of the MAGA movement, and that's what's going to be faced the whole remainder, not only Super Tuesday but beyond. So where does Nikki Haley go? And if Donald Trump does in fact implode, it's very unlikely that his delegates are going to accept Nikki Haley as the nominee in any way, shape, or form. One of the telling things in the exit polls in South Carolina showed that among Trump supporters, 72% said that that Haley would not be acceptable as the party's nominee. So we can sort of put that to rest. It's Donald Trump's nomination unless he implodes. And how might he implode? Well, there are stories that abound now about perhaps a challenge that he faces with his own cognitive skills and his own memory. There's the suggestion, I heard it, but it's open to interpretation, whether he actually forgot his wife's name. There's an alternative explanation to that. It didn't sound right, though, calling her Mercedes. And there's also, the potential. We saw that 2/3 of those who showed up to vote in South Carolina, 1/3 of those who showed up in South Carolina said that if he is convicted of a crime, that he would not be fit to be president. So that's part one of what I want to talk about. It's Donald Trump's nomination unless he blows it wide open. The second piece is that there is some evidence in our polling that I just saw a few minutes ago that there is a slight Joe Biden rebound. Not that his numbers are great, but that Donald Trump's are lower. And so we're looking right now at a slight lead of Biden, whether it's alone against Trump or together with Bobby Kennedy or together with Jill Stein and the Libertarian candidate. We're starting to show that that 3-point lead is maintained. Still too close to call, still way too early, but that's what we're seeing right now. So the final question I have, and I don't think it can be answered in any way by polling at all, or maybe a suggested answer. This is now, today is February 26th. Can we really sustain this campaign between two guys that essentially the American voters have said they don't want to have their party's nomination? 70% most recently have said they don't think that Joe Biden is fit to be president. 59% said they don't think that Donald Trump is fit to be president. That's a lot of people. And now are we supposed to go on until November 5th with these two guys. I wonder, this is not based on having asked the question, because it really can't be asked. I'm just wondering out loud if neither of these two gentlemen are actually going to end up as the party's nominee. I know that's wild and that's out there. I also know that I'm not the person. I also know that I'm not the only person asking that question, but it just seems a little difficult for me. This lead is going to be switched back and forth. There are third-party candidates, and question as to whether Bobby Kennedy is able to work out a deal with libertarians, in which case then he'd be on the ballot in all 50 states, and still polling respectably well. But is America going to listen to Donald Trump and to Joe Biden now for the next 7 or 8 months? I think that's a critical question, and one that we'll try to fill in an answer to as we go along. So this was an abbreviated edition of our little podcast. I'd love to know what you think. So please reply to the emails that we sent, reply on our website, johnzogbystrategies.com, or via LinkedIn or YouTube or whatever platform that we have. Thanks. Have a good week. We'll be back.